How does it feel to be home, first of all?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, being on your own for 80 days, suddenly to be surrounded by people, it's a bit odd, but it's really great to get back home.
So it takes a bit of readjusting, does it? I mean, even with the family?
Yes, and you don't really know how it's going to kind of pan out. At the moment, the hard thing I'm finding is sleeping. I'm up to 3 hours before waking up. But I can't sleep in an enclosed room, so I'm sleeping with the windows wide open. And Kate, my wife's got 2 duvets on.
Yeah, because I heard you're just sleeping for 20 minutes at a time, aren't you? Snatching it when you can on the boat.
20 to 40 minutes every 2.5 to 4 hours. But sometimes you have to go without 36 hours without sleep, so it's pretty brutal.
So what happens to the yacht then, the boat then, when you're asleep?
Well, the boat 95% of the time is driven by an autopilot, so I can set it to a wind angle. So if the wind changes, the boat changes course. So you have to be a bit careful when you get close to land.
I was just going to say.
But if you're snatching your nap, is there some sort of alarm that goes off if there's an iceberg looming or something like that? You know?
You would not believe the amount of alarms I've got. So I've got sleep alarms, I've got alarms for the wind, for the radar, for virtually everything. Sometimes you wake up and they're all going off, and you know it's a bit stressful.
What do you think? I mean, highs and lows through. I mean, 81 days at sea. That's tough in itself, isn't it? I mean, are you good on your own?
I'm the kind of person that goes home and there's no one at home, and I think, oh, that's quite nice. But without thinking about it, I've pulled my phone out and phoned a friend and said, come over.
Yeah.
So
what for you what do you think was the lowest moment of those 81 days?
I really don't feel like I was very low at all during the race. But one of the hardest was I had a collision with a UFO, unidentified floating object.
I was going to say, this is a story if it was a UFO, yeah.
And I damaged my rudder, my steering gear, and also the little unit that generates power. So I actually had to go into virtually no power using mode for 5 weeks. So no phone calls, making minimum water. Yeah, it was pretty, I felt a bit alone, but you know, alone and lonely, they're two different things.
Yeah.
So the news from the race today, Jean-Pierre Dica's finished. So you must be really pleased about that, because you diverted your course. He had a problem with no keel, didn't he? He was sailing with no keel, and you diverted to sort of be there if he needed you.
Yeah, so his keel fell off, and the boats are very unstable in that situation. But he was so close to the finish, he wanted to try and finish, so he couldn't ask for any assistance. And there was some big weather to come, and I was kind of sailing away, and I just thought, you know what, it's not going to make any difference to my race. I'll finish third. So I went and spent the day and sat next to him in the big waves and, you know, gave him a bit of comfort.
It's that camaraderie. It's really important in a big race like that when you're all going solo.
Yeah, well, you remember Mike Golding saved my life in 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, it's nice to do something for someone else.
And how's he doing?
His progress, he was sort of 700 miles from the finish, I think. He's due back on Wednesday, I think, at some point.
Yeah, hopefully Mike will get in Wednesday.
What's next?
Well, you know, I'm a solo sailor. You know, I'm kind of in that little compartment, and you know, I'd love to do the race again, but I'm not sure about 2016 yet. I'm going to have to see how it lies at home.
Oh, you're going for that, that first place winners podium.
Boss.
Alex, thanks so much for coming in.
Great to see you, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.